quote. I think it's your turn to read the asshat quote. I picked a long one last time. You should pick a long one.
It's Ezra Taft Benson.
He was the prophet when I was a child.
Yeah, we had a Benson quote, I think in the video that comes out the day we're recording this one. From the teachings of Ezra Taft Benson. Consider how very fortunate we are to be living in this land of America. Many great events have transpired in this land of destiny. This was the place where Adam dwelt. Strike one.
You say.
This is the place where the Garden of Eden was. Strike two. It was here that Adam met with a body of high priests at Adam-on-Dai Amen.
Strike three. So we can stop reading the quote.
Shortly before his death, and gave them his final blessing and the place to which he will return to meet with the leaders of his people. From Doctrine and Covenants 107.
So wait, is Adam coming back?
Well, isn't
Adam
Adam
just Jesus is coming back?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're Brigham Young, Adam was God.
This was the place of three former civilizations, that of Adam, that of the Jaredites, and that of the Nephites.
Nephites.
I don't care. The Mormon News had a lot of things this week.
Okay, so Sam Young's my hero. He watched one of our videos. Yay. It was the one where I rant about worthiness interviews needing to stop. So his blog post is about the very first ward to openly eliminate one-on-one interviews of children.
Ooh.
Which is a huge step. I mean, it's a baby step in the grand scheme of the whole church.
Yeah.
But basically, a stake president is allowing a ward to not do one-on-one interviews.
So,
no sex questions.
Eliminating one-on-one interviews and tightly limiting sex questions down to just one, which would be, are you following the laws of chastity, right? Like,
yeah.
Yes or no. End it there. We're good.
Right.
Then to be rolled out to an entire stake.
Yes. So stakes usually, I don't know how many wards are in stakes in Utah. I mean, I really don't. I feel like up here it's maybe around like 10 wards. It's probably different in Utah. I've never lived in Mormon land, so I don't know.
Mormon land scares me.
Me too.
So then the last sentence in this blog post about it is, we are winning the battle, one bishop, one ward, and soon one stake at a time.
And that's the only way it's going to change.
Because if one does it, then maybe neighboring ones will, and then maybe more will.
Well, and then maybe, like, okay, say for example, Mormons move from this ward and this stake to somewhere else in the country, and they say, no, we're not, my child's not doing this.
Right.
And get a couple of their friends who are like, well, no, you're right. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's okay. We're not doing this.
Right.
You get enough parents in enough wards saying, we're not doing this, that the church will have no choice but to change.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part is, Sam Young's whole family is Mormon. I think he has some kids that aren't, they're not involved in the church by their own, choosing, which is great. Like, that's their life. They can do what they want with it. But, like, Sam Young's wife and his mother, they are active in the church. And by excommunicating Sam Young, the church has taken him from his family forever. Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you believe.
Yeah.
His wife has lost him forever. His wife who loves him. She's not leaving him over this.
Right.
From what I've seen, they have a great relationship. I don't know them personally. I haven't been in their home. But from the things I've seen Sam post on social media, he has a great wife, and they have a great relationship. And how is that fair that the church gets to tell her that, oh, you're not sealed to your husband anymore because he wanted to stop a bad thing. He wanted to protect children, so you don't get to be with him forever. Like, I would like someone to say that to her face.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did.
Yeah. I mean, if the whole thing is, like, guilting you into being the perfect Mormon so that you could spend eternity with your family, I mean, they excommunicated him because...
Right.
Well, I was going to say, who's going to say he did anything wrong, but, I mean, the people who excommunicated him did. So I'm sure there's others out there that are on the other side, but...
And I think, I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think that the top levels, the 12 apostles, if not the president of the church himself, told his stake president he needs to be excommunicated. We can't have people doing this. So if we excommunicate one person, the rest of them will see that we can't do this, or we'll get excommunicated and separated from our families forever.
Well, because if he's saying all this stuff to protect kids, because at the end of the...
It stepped on me.
Dead. Dude.
Thought you didn't like me. This is the standoffish cat, by the way.
This is how you get a cat.
Apparently.
They decide to like you, and then... Cat.
She likes you more.
Well...
There you go.
I have raised her since she was a wee thing. Anyways. So, in order for the church to change that practice, like, officially, wouldn't God have to tell the prophet?
Which I'm sure...
So isn't it easier to excommunicate the guy making waves than to magically...
Right.
If you magically have God say, oh, hey, by the way, that guy, that lonely guy who's not an apostle... He's right. Do what he says. So, it makes everybody above him look like an asshole.
Right. I have suspicions that the church is specifically testing something out.
I mean, they have proven themselves time and time again to do things like that.
Yes, they have.
Logan Man arrested and charged with Mormon dating app assault.
Well, yeah, because Mormons don't talk about sex or consent.
So this 22-year-old guy who looks like he's, 32 going on 40...
he looks old.
He's been arraigned on charges that he sexually assaulted a woman he met on an app for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Wow. I was on an LDS dating website.
Can I just call it the CJC LDS? Because saying Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a mouthful.
Just call them the Mormons. It's a win for Satan if you use the word Mormon.
Mormons! Caleb, spelled with a K, M.
Utah.
Barkley was arrested last month and later released on bail. Of course he was. Charged with 1 count of forcible sexual abuse, a second-degree felony. So,
felonies are bad.
Generally, yeah. He admitted that he kept going after being asked to stop.
Yeah, because no means yes, and yes means keep going? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so,
we'll read the article, I guess. And then, Mormons don't teach consent. I think I saw something about, kids were going to their first dance and there was a thing telling the girls that they needed to just say yes because, it was 3 minutes and it wasn't a big deal. And
oh, yeah.
I'm sorry if you're not comfortable with someone saying no. Like, I don't think, that I was personally ever told that I needed to just say yes.
Right.
I mean, there were guys that, I danced with and I was never going to want to go out with or have interest in, but they were nice guys.
And it's a dance, it's fun.
And it's a dance, and it was fun. And guys only ask girls to dance on slow songs at stake dances anyway. But I remember, in our stake, there were a couple creepers, and if I saw them heading my way, I would go to the bathroom and hang out in the mother's lounge until the slow song was over. Because, I didn't want to tell someone no. I'm a nice person, and I don't want to be no thanks.
Teaching young girls to say yes even if you don't want to. Turn that into, okay, you're in high school, you're at a party, maybe you're not, the super strictest Mormon anymore, but, a guy comes on to you, shoves you up against a wall and kisses you.
That you're not interested in.
Are you gonna say no, or just say yes?
Just gonna let it happen. It'll stop.
He's a teenager. It'll only last a few minutes. I mean, it's literally teaching...
Well, it's not
you don't need consent.
Right. There's a great video about consent that involves a cup of tea, and it's the best video. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh, we need to find it. It's really good. But basically, the premise is you ask someone if they want a cup of tea, and they say, oh, no thanks. You don't bring them the tea anyway. Or if you do bring them the tea and then they don't drink it, you don't get to be offended that they didn't drink the tea that they didn't ask for.
Right.
It's simple. Consent is simple.
Judge eases sentence on former LDS bishop convicted of exploiting a prostitute.
This is the story that my aunt, so not the sentencing part, obviously.
Yeah.
This is the one where my aunt argued with me that he didn't do it at church.
Oh, thank God. A hidden camera captured everything on video. He went in a hotel room, gave the two women hugs that were inside. His offer to help them become prostitutes was creepy.
He wanted to be a pimp. He has bizarre fantasies.
And then he tried to, with his back to the camera, he tried to remove his pants in front of the women. Then, surprise! We're undercover
no one
detectives.
wants to see a 52-year-old man's saggy nuts.
No! This guy, apparently credit for time served, good behavior, he'll serve 70 days. Yeah, so this was posted on the 23rd. The church released an official statement encouraging amendments to the psychologist licensing rule and to the Mental Health Professional Practice Act rule on October
So these
15th.
are rules for licensed professionals. Licensed professionals. And the church, who is not licensed professionals, think they get an input.
Right, because they want to make it so that they can't engage in the practice of sexual orientation change, conversion therapy, or gender identity change. The church says it finds some definitions too broad and claims the bills would infringe on certain religious freedoms.
They're not imposing on your religious freedom. If you have a 5-year-old who likes to walk around the house in mommy's high heels, for one, that doesn't mean he's a transsexual necessarily.
Right. No.
Your kids don't need conversion therapy, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If for some reason they are gay or transsexual, they still don't need therapy.
No. But so basically the church is like, you guys need to be a little with the way you're wording these laws because of religious freedom. It's like bullshit. Anti-gay and trans, and you want to let conversion therapy happen.
Right.
Oh yeah, because it says she only had sex once before accepting Mormonism and obediently adhered to the church's rule against premarital sex.
So, for some bizarre reason, her parents were super religious, but let her pick her own church.
That's cool.
Which, I mean, I guess is cool in a way.
Right, I mean...
But if you're really strict and really religious, like, you're limiting the church your child can join that you're gonna find acceptable.
Yeah.
And small town in Pacific Northwest makes me curious.
Yeah, I feel like we could do a little bit of digging and figure that out.
Right, as we live in this general area.
Yeah.
5'8", blonde beauty. First of all, I'm jealous.
Oh, God.
She moved to California. Couldn't get work as a waitress. Even with a bachelor's degree, which, let's face it, a bachelor's degree doesn't get you shit anymore.
I have 2 of them. But so she tried her luck as an exotic dancer.
Good for her.
Started getting contacted by porn agents.
Did I ever tell you about my classmate in beauty school who used to like to give me stripper makeup? She was a stripper. I guess that should be the preface there. I mean, I'm proud of her because, like, to me, like, I can barely go to the beach in a bikini.
Right.
Without feeling like everyone's looking at me and I'm some kind of whore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, there's probably not many people who want to see me in a bikini, but at 120 pounds, I look damn good in a bikini and wouldn't do it.
Right. And, I mean, you're in the church, you're oppressed, whatever happens, you decide to leave.
I mean, I hope she's making a shit ton of money.
I mean, it says she quickly risen in the porn ranks. There's ranks.
There's ranks in the porn.
And you know what I appreciate? She says that her family
accepted it.
Like, they're open-minded, but, like, her brother says he's okay with it, and he's like, but I'm not gonna watch your porn.
Well,
like,
no.
That's fine, because if you decide to do porn, you're not gonna be like, hey, Mom, check out the new movie I'm in. My vagina's all over it.
Right.
But if her parents, who were religious, I don't know if they're still religious, but...
Well, and we don't know what kind of religious denomination they are.
The fact that they're okay with it and accept her still... They were not like, oh, well, you're not going to be able to spend eternity with us in the Celestial Kingdom.
Well, yeah, because they weren't Mormons.
Yeah, but just, to be open-minded and be like, you do you. We still love you.
You're like, but I feel like they kind of had that attitude from the beginning, in a way. Because they're like, well, you need to go to church, but you can decide what church. Like, I mean, I feel like I would have picked like the easiest fucking church ever.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
I would have been like, how long's your service?
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe she was at a
Do you expect me to stand up and put my hands in the air?
Maybe she was just at a point in life where she needed structure.
Maybe. The Mormon church offers a lot of structures.
Which people
need
the
structures.
Sometimes.
So many structures.
But this is kind of like happy news. Unless you're an active Mormon and then
Well, if you're an
probably
active Mormon, you think anyone who's looked at porn is a porn addict.
Yeah.
Because that's a healthy thing to tell people, that if you've looked at porn, you're an addict.
Yeah. And so she's 30 years old, and she was recently named Pet House Magazine's Pet of the Month. So basically, to sum up this week in Mormon news, stop easing sentences on icky people.
Sex offenders.
And the church needs to shut up.
Okay, bye.